Good morning, Ian Crouch with your 8:30 Hunter News update. Protest group Rising Tide is celebrating after Newcastle Council approved the use of Foreshore Park as a campsite and Camp Shortland for a concert event from late November. It comes after more than 76% of respondents to community feedback were in favour of the event going ahead. Council CEO Jeremy Bath says Council's approval only extends to the use of the public land. He says it's up to the state government if it wants to prevent protesters from entering the harbour. Meanwhile, Rising Tide is now calling on the Port of Newcastle to stop coal ship movements in the harbour from dawn on November 29 to dusk on November 30. An extensive investigation by the State Crime Command has resulted in several firearms and ammunition being seized from a Katara home. Officers executed a search warrant at the residence in Joanne Street yesterday, where the weapons were allegedly found. A 35-year-old man has been arrested. He's been refused bail to front the bail court today, charged with 12 firearm and drug-related offences. Advocates for a train to Cessnock say if the state government acts now, a service could be up and running by the end of the decade. The recently released Hunter Strategic Regional Integrated Transport Plan made a brief mention of a service following years of advocacy to secure the old mining corridor from Maitland to Cessnock. In March, Cessnock Council joined calls for the state government to buy the corridor. Advocate Andrew Fenwick says the government needs to sort the line and not the rolling stock.
The line isn't ready. It's going to take 3 years of bureaucracy and red tape and then the work to get the line ready anyway. So we need to start now to get the line ready for when the trains are available. If they leave when the trains are available, then we're going to have to wait another 3 or 4 years before the line's ready.
It could be a couple of years before we see any work start on the western flyover the New England Highway at Maitland. The federal government matched a coalition commitment to fund the $100 million project in the lead up to the May election. Senate estimates has been told it's unlikely the project will be put to tender before March next year, and a business case could take up to 2 years to complete. Life Without Barriers says more foster carers are urgently needed across the region. The service has been dealing with increasing demand in recent months and is asking people to reconsider becoming carers. Regional Director Ben Anderson says it's not always a long-term commitment.
What this means to kids is that they can stay close to their school, they can stay close to their friends, and they can continue to maintain family connections. This stability makes a huge difference, and even one person putting their hand up can truly change the course of a child's life.
The University of Newcastle has been one of the big winners in next year's allocation of international students. The federal government has announced the university will be allowed to accept just over 2,000 students next year. Although last year's figure was not made public, reports today suggest next year's allocation is an increase on previous years. The government says universities such as Newcastle, which have built more student accommodation, have had their allocations significantly increased.
To NURFM Sport.
New RL General Manager Adam Devicic is pleading for a new boutique stadium to be built in the Hunter. He believes it could provide a solution for several sports and a home for local teams. The stadium would hold up to 15,000, making it second to McDonald Jones Stadium. NBL 1 coach Josh Morgan will return for his third season in charge of the Newcastle Falcons men's squad. While the men missed out on finals, they've triumphed over Canberra during last season, who were the eventual champions. Morgan says he's grateful to coach the side again. Former Knights coach Adam O'Brien has joined the Bulldogs as an attacking coach ahead of the 2026 season. O'Brien was originally discussing a move to Manly before deciding to move out west. He has held previous assistant roles at the Storm and Roosters before taking charge of the Knights in 2020. And Knights back Shanice Parker has received a call-up for the upcoming Pacific Championships. The long-serving winger will represent the Kiwi Ferns against Samoa on Sunday. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 1, 14, 17, 18, 22, 33 and 47, and the supplementaries are 11, 34 and 44. And now you're up to date with the latest 2NURFM Hunter News.